We are active. We are bringing up the broadcast. We are making sure that everything is live for YouTube, for you threeb. If you are on YouTube, you can follow the link in the description to join us on the GetVokl app. Right there. We are bringing up the YouTube chat, making sure that we can communicate with our Foundation staff in the YouTube space. Armed and ready. Digitizing signal. We have the GetVokl chat up. We have the YouTube chat up. Foundation staff, we are live in 3, 2, 1. All right. Hey there, Foundation staff. This is SCHerm here. Welcome to Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. We are getting everything together here. For those of you new to the show, let me tell you what we do here. First of all, I read you an SCP document. Maybe it's a classic, maybe it's a new one that I think we should feature. Second, I open up the chat windows on GetVokl to anyone, SCP author, SCP staff, fans, anybody who wants to come in and chit-chat about tonight's SCP, talk about the writing process, the story, the characters, similar SCPs, stuff like that. If you enjoy the show, leave a like and a comment to help us out. And if you really want to help us out, you can become a patron at patreon.com/site42. With all of our pre-show out of the way, we are going to be reading SCP-4996, titled The Demon, the Deal, and the Trashcan Elvis by Dyslexion. And so with that, go ahead and turn to SCP-4996 on the SCP database, and we will begin the reading, followed by the discussion. All right. And let's get started. Item number, SCP-4996. Object class, Euclid. Site responsible, Site-12. Director, Dr. D. Eon. Research head, Dr. Alexandra Virgil. Assigned to task force, not applicable. Classified level 3. Special containment procedures. SCP-4996 is to be contained in a standard humanoid cell, with the door engraved with the glyphs depicted in Technical Document 4996-2. Any restraints placed on SCP-4996 must be constructed from iron that was quenched in river water. Description: SCP-4996 is a Tartarian-class demonic entity that will attempt to orchestrate deals with any person who comes near to them. Any deals will be interpreted by the meaning of the request, often resulting in a beneficial outcome for the other party. But this is accompanied by an unintended side effect. Footnote 1, considered to fall into the monkey's paw demonic contract category, though this is only speculation. These effects seem to be largely unrelated to the terms of the original deal, though the effect's severity will often scale with the deal's complexity. Discovery: SCP-4996 was discovered on October 9th, 2019, after a raid on a cult known as the Watchers of Purgatory was conducted by Mobile Task Force Upsilon 11, codename Avalon's Wake, after the disappearance of the first team, Omicron 1. The following video was recovered from the ruins of the warehouse. Video log, August 7th, 2019. Video log transcript. Begin log. Camera turns on. The torso of a man in a purple robe, identified only as Brother Matthias, can be seen. He backs away from the camera and gives a thumbs up to 12 similarly clad people standing around a pentagram. Brother Matthias speaks. It's on. Our sacred summoning can now commence, my brethren. The assembled cultist. And such is our path. Let his love guide us to our salvation. Brother Matthias walks to the circle and pulls a tome from his robe. I, Brother Matthias, welcome you here as we embark on this journey. Have you prepared the tools? All members pull long ceremonial knives from their sleeves. Brother Matthias speaks. Let the sacrifice begin. The cultists draw the knives across their hands and let the blood fall onto the ground. The pentagram begins to glow a deep purple. A fire bursts into life at the center of the circle. Cultist 2. He's coming! A form coalesces in the center, and the fire expands outward to reveal a humanoid with large horns. Footnote 2. Identified as SCP-4996. The entity speaks. Who? Wait, where am I? Brother Matthias speaks back. O great deliverer, we seek to claim your blessing and enter purgatory upon our deaths. Wait, from me? Are you... SCP-4996 crouches and examines the writing on the pentagram. Yep, just what I thought. Did we do something wrong? SCP-4996 gestures for Brother Matthias to come closer. It then points to a portion of the circle. Simple mistake. You wrote untranscribable instead of untranscribable. See, that symbol needs an accent and more flourish. I bet you meant to summon my dad. An explosion is heard. Gunshots are heard, and a task force member is seen in the far right of the frame. End log. The task force member in the above video was confirmed to be from Omicron 1. SCP-4996 was found sitting in the kitchen of the ritual site, smoking a cigarette and playing solitaire. The tome used to summon SCP-4996 has been cataloged and transcripts are available to all personnel with Level 2 clearances. Addendum 1. Interview 1. The following interview was conducted after SCP-4996 was transported to Site-12 in an attempt to discover the whereabouts of the missing task force, as well as additional information. Interview 1, December 7th, 2019. I'm starting to think these are English dates, and the video was on September 8th, 2019, and this is now September 12th, 2019. I'm going to assume this is not American date structure. So, September 12th, 2019. Interviewed, SCP-4996. Interviewer, Dr. Alexandra Virgil. Begin log. Good morning, SCP-4996. I have a few questions for you. And I have got a ton of questions for you. The human world is so exciting. Is this your first time? Yup. Well, welcome, I guess. Thank you. Okay, do you want to go first or should I? I'll start. What happened to the task force sent to your summoning? We lost all contact with them about 10 minutes after they breached the site. Was that the 4 people? The nice lady with the funny accent and the 2 big guys and the lady with the sword? I believe so, yes. I made a deal with them. It's what my dad does, so I figured that I should, continue the legacy. I mean, family business. And what kind of business is this? Well, as you can probably guess, hell is overpopulated. I mean, I figured humans were kind of bad, but you guys, shot a bunch of people as an opener, which was crazy to watch. Anyways, my dad works with angels to cut deals with the people who are, average, not great, not terrible, Spend some time in purgatory, and then you can go to heaven. Don't angels and demons hate each other? Not really. It's kind of like cats and dogs. Yeah, there's fighting, but that's mostly like individuals. My grandma was actually an angel. I still don't really understand what you're getting at. He's like a contract lawyer for boring people who don't belong to either place. Some people summon him and he makes the deals, you know? So you offered them a ticket to heaven. Oh, I'm not actually allowed to do that. I needed practice, so I think I might have made a mistake. What? Okay, first off, I'm new to this. Deals, trades, contracts. I just finished my first year at school, so I'm still learning the ropes, so keep that in mind. Okay. Second, I don't know, like, anything about the mortal realm. Hell and heaven run on very different rules. But that brings me to my first question. Are the Marvel movies, like, based on real events? No, they're completely Oh, no, you didn't. I might have given them superpowers then. Every fucking day. Well, what was the price? Shit. I'm 0 and 2 now, aren't I? Hey, I'm inexperienced, so it might wear off or... What was that last part? It might have, unintended side effects? You're kidding. Look, I was just trying to impress my dad. He's got a lot of expectations for me. I'll sort this out, or try to. Well, can you tell me what powers they have? Like a ballpark guess? Immortality? Or was it indestructibility? Maybe some other things? I don't remember. Really? Just something as easy to fix as immortality? Great. Can we do my questions now? End log. Closing statement. SCP-4996 was transferred to its current cell following this interview. All members of Omicron 1 were found unconscious at the base of Niagara Falls by Canadian authorities and currently reside in Site-12 in medically induced comas. Addendum 2. Test logs. A sample of conducted tests is provided below. SCP-4996 was not prompted or coerced at any point, and only willing personnel were utilized. Test number 00. Not authorized. Subject: Jeffrey Helms, security guard. Request: a candy bar wrapper that, when kept in a pocket, will produce a new candy bar instantaneously. Price: a small portion of the original candy bar. Outcome: Helms developed a minor cavity in his upper left molar. Originally believed to be non-anomalous, all known dental techniques have proven incapable of filling the cavity. Helms has described the cavity as a, quote, super minor inconvenience, end quote. Test number 3. Subject: D27631, convicted of 3 homicides, permitted in testing based on loyalty to the Foundation and good behavior. Request: peace for the families he had hurt. Price: not applicable. Outcome: SCP-4996 declined and said that this was outside of its abilities, but offered to make D27631 forget about it, which D27631 accepted. A 10-year gap in memory was noted in the subject. Following the test, other D-Class began to have dreams consistent with D27631's forgotten memories. Test number 5. Dr. Broadley Robbins. The ability to paint at a professional level. A painting for SCP-4996's cell, subject of said painting not specified. Outcome: Dr. Robbins gained the ability to paint with a technique and style similar to Rembrandt. In the week following the test, a zipper manifested across Dr. Robbins' torso. Over the course of the next 6 days, the contents of his torso, lungs, heart, digestive system, transformed into a liquid chemically similar to oil-based paint and permeated his bloodstream, leaving his torso completely hollow. Dr. Robbins noted no loss of functionality and has begun to use the space to store art supplies. Test number 7. Subject: Dr. Janet Shelby. Request: to be 5 centimeters taller. Price: not applicable. Outcome: Dr. Shelby began to experience rapid skeletal growth, with the bones of her forearms and calves bursting through the skin in less than 10 seconds. Examination of Dr. Shelby showed that her skin was, quote, rippling like water, end quote, with all of her bones shattering and reforming several times every second. The repeated fracturing of all skeletal structures within Dr. Shelby's body generated cracking sounds in excess of 165 decibels at 10 meters away. After 30 minutes, bone fragments exited the body through various orifices and solidified on her skin. After 10 minutes, Dr. Shelby was completely covered in a calcium-based exoskeleton. All growth and movement stopped 15 minutes later. After 6 hours, Dr. Shelby emerged from the exoskeleton and immediately informed the other researchers that she had felt no pain during the process. Testing showed that she was in perfect health, with the only abnormality being that her skin was now primarily composed of a calcium-based material that was able to harden reflexively to prevent damage. Total growth was marked at 6 centimeters. Test number 10. Subject: Dr. Jeremy Blake, marine parabiologist. Request: the ability to breathe underwater. Price: a pool party that SCP-4996 could attend. Outcome: Dr. Blake manifested gills on his wrists that seal completely when not submerged. During the 3 tests of this ability, Dr. Blake was harassed by 7 species of fish, 2 species of sharks, 2 species of sharks, and 1 octopus. Upon reviewing the footage, Dr. Blake concluded that each animal was attempting to engage in sexual... Oh no. Oh, you know where this is going. Dr. Blake concluded that each animal was attempting to engage in sexual intercourse with him. This effect does not seem to extend to aquatic mammals. Addendum: Dr. Blake was hospitalized on November 29, 2019, after an encounter with a Pfister macrocephalus on a research expedition. Just one moment. I'm going to interrupt this reading to do a Google search. Hello in the chat for Yummy Kills and Jordan Hargrove in the YouTube chat. Hello, Luke and Rura in the GetVokl chat. I just need to directly know what a Pfister macrocephalus is, and I'm sure it's going to upset me dearly, but this is just something I need to know right now. What is a Pfister macro... Yup, that's a sperm whale. Oh, thank you, Dyslexion. That is... Dr. Blake was hospitalized on November 29, 2019 after an encounter with a sperm whale on a research expedition. Well, you had a bad day. You're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. Okay. Test 11. Test 11. Redacted. Staff are no longer allowed to request anything related to their bodies or psyche. What did you do? Test number 13. Subject: Dr. Amanda Wallach. Request: to return her pet cat, Elvis, to life. Price: to pet said cat following its resurrection. No. Outcome: no signs of life were detected from the cat. That night, Dr. Wallach reported that possums with the tails of cats began to manifest in her proximity whenever she was alone. Several of these opossums, of the species Didelphis virginiana, were captured for study. All instances, designated SCP-4996-P, are capable of verbal communication, speaking an unknown amount of languages with the voice of the late Elvis Presley, but prefer to communicate with humans and other SCP-4996-P instances with deep, human-like meows. Footnote number 3. They can be coaxed into talking by misquoting an Elvis Presley song or mentioning Elvis in a condescending or negative way. Instances disappear after 1 hour. Addendum 3. Interview 2. The following interview was conducted after test 13. A moment. Rura and GetVokl chat points out that they have fan art of this SCP, and if you send that to me on Discord, I can put that up on screen during the discussion section. So if you would like to send me that art, I will try and do that while we're chit-chatting. In the meantime, Interview 2 on September 12th, 2019. Wait a minute. Or is that December 7th, 2019? I'm not sure if these dates are supposed to be English and American, because this one, maybe this is December 7th, but there was another date that was not, that looked like it was English. I don't know. I'll have to ask about that. Anyways, interview. Interviewed Dr. 4996. Yes. We haven't had a lot of SCP researchers lately. SCP-4996. Interviewer, Dr. Alexandra Virgil. Begin log. Good afternoon, SCP-4996. Are you settling in all right? Oh, yes. This is so much nicer than those boarding schools my dad kept putting me in. Hell has boarding schools? We're not animals, you know. But anyhow, all these new people, I'm making such a huge difference in their lives. It really feels fantastic. Like the guy who liked fish? Now we can just hang out with him. It's like as long as he wants. I bet my dad's never helped anybody like this. What about the... A popping sound is heard, followed by scurrying. Oh, hey, Dr. Wallach must be nearby. What the fuck is that? Pardon me, pretty lady. Do you mind if I serenade you? I would prefer that you do not. I'm trying to conduct an interview. You're lost, sweet cheeks. You'll find I ain't no hound dog. Several moments of silence follow, at the very least mourning my terrible Elvis accent. Continuing on. Please stop petting it. Oh, come on, he likes it. Sorry, darling, but this cat's got a purr. Anyway, what were you saying about your father? He wants me to be a lawyer like him, but that, only helps humans when they die, which isn't really very much help at all. Okay, in your mind, what's the alternative? Duh. I stay here and help humans before they die, like a wish-granting superhero. I'm really getting the hang of these powers, don't you think? I think that's a typo. I think it should be hang of these powers, not hang on these powers. Sorry, typo check. Dr. Virgil continues. I don't... Look at all the good I've done already. I helped a man recover from his past, gave a lady super tough skin, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Look at those task force guys. I bet they're out there saving the world. Come on, I've got this hero thing in the bag. I'll humor you. What's your superhero name? I don't know yet, but Elvis Posley is going to be my sidekick. Elvis Posley. You rang, gorgeous. End log. Closing statement. Despite remarks about becoming a, quote, superhero, SCP-4996 has not attempted to escape from Site-12 at any point. Following this interview, it was provided with several thaumaturgical texts and rituals, which SCP-4996 has proven exceptionally helpful in deciphering. Yeehaw! SCP-4996. Oh boy, oh boy. So, while I'm pulling up fan art for this SCP, because that's always cool to have art on the screen, I want to point out, number one, that it is pretty hip to have one of these. I love funny SCPs. Some people are like, this is not the mood that I want for this. This is a spooky website. And yeah, it started with the creepypasta stuff. But, you know, once in a while, it's nice to have something funny and out there. And it makes for an entertaining story. Oh, and by the way, now that we're in the discussion portion, I should have said this first. I'm going to open up the chat windows if anyone wants to jump in and speak on the video or microphone chat. And I will, of course, be checking the YouTube chat for questions from you guys as well. So, as I was saying, I think it is wonderful sometimes to have a funny SCP. And especially this one here, I was very excited when I first saw it because the opening salvo of it just saying, this is a deal with the devil demon. It's like, that is one of the most cliche things you could possibly have. Everyone knows the deal with the devil demon. So I was very excited to see how they tweaked the story and what they could do to make it interesting. And I'll be that I thought this was a very interesting story. They did the very little, it has all of those like tropes. They summon the demon, they make deals with it, but they're monkey paw deals, which is referenced as a trope. I find that funny. They make the deals, but they don't always go right. But they don't go right because the demon's being a dick. Although I'm sure that his dad does that on purpose. But he does the deals and they get the soul into purgatory and stuff like that. But, it's just an accident. It's not really that bad. He seems like a nice enough dude. Aw, this demon art is adorable. Let me put this on. This is Rura's demon art. Let me get that in the middle of the screen properly so you can see that. Yeah, that is wonderful. And so that is fan art of SCP-4996 by Rura Scarlet in our GetVokl chat right now. I'll just leave that up there while we chit chat. And so, let me shrink that down just a little bit so I'm not hiding behind it. Hiding. There we go. Nice 25%. And so, we have a funny demon, monkey paw deals, and not the most out there take on the subject. It's not going too far out, but it's going far enough that it makes a little bit of change. It plays with what you expect to be happening. Running through the discussion page. And by the way, if you're in YouTube or GetVokl, I am happy to discuss with you guys what you think of it as well. In the discussion page for the SCP, user Genshed mentions that a buddy movie with SCP-4996 and SCP-2662 would be ridiculously hilarious. SCP-2662 is, gosh darn, one of my favorite SCPs. Just for a small summary for you to go read about it, SCP is called Cthulhu Fuck Off. And it is about a demon, or otherworldly god in this case, because Cthulhu's an old one, so to speak, who is like a teenage demon, teenage old one, and he has cults who follow him, and they do terrible things in his name, but he's just a dude who wants to play Xbox and go to school, and isn't really just ready to settle down with one cult just yet. And so the logs are just these cults breaking in while he's sleeping, breaking in the shower, making blood sacrifices in his living room, holding demon orgies in his bed while he's sleeping. And it's like, guys, just leave me alone. No, this is the worst. And so he's held by the Foundation on purpose because he wants to hide from all of these cultists. And so that's, you take the standard trope and then you turn it on its head just a little bit. You just kind of take it aside. They are hilarious like that. Now, there was something in the discussion I pulled it up for. And that's because, scrolling. Yes, Ghost Julie said the same thing. They skipped to the testing when they decided that it was just a regular deal with the devil. The fact that he wants to help people and kind of twist it on his head is just enough of a tweak to make it interesting. Luke informed me that my mic just went garbly. And you know what? Hey, at least the microphone made it this far without messing up. Gosh, darn it. I swear to you guys in the Site-42 audience, we spent 30 minutes before this stream sound checking the different equipment to see what was happening. It kind of does this at random. we're not sure why the tech is going bad. All right, I'm going to sidetrack you for a minute. Welcome to Behind the Music, Site-42 edition. This is the Shure SM7B, which is like a $200 or $300 microphone. I got it with Patreon money because the patrons for Site-42 are the best, and they help us upgrade the set. This is my lovely microphone that I use for the SCP readings on this channel. This is our Focusrite red box. We use the Focusrite Scarlett Solo to put that nice microphone into a USB port. We have our new Asus laptop that we just got a couple months ago. John Puppet Adventures also points out that the headset, that the sound is acting up. Yeah. And the funny thing is, in my microphone, because it's coming from the red box, I don't hear the bad sound. But somewhere between me and GetVokl is the problem. Oh, it's back now, Rura says. Hallelujah. I'm still going to go off on a tangent for a second, because if anyone is a sound tech and has an idea what we can do with this, I would love some advice, because I am an actor, singer, dancer, artist guy. I do voiceover, and this microphone never has this problem when I am recording for the computer. When it's on Adobe Audition, when I use Audacity, when I make videos with OBS and I just record them, never a sound problem. But once I beam the sound through the internet, somewhere in the GetVokl app, between internet and GetVokl, it dies. And then phrasing. And then once it's already garbled in GetVokl, YouTube hears that garbled audio. So it's either internet or GetVokl, somewhere in there. We're trying to fix it, I swear. Thank you guys for sticking with us throughout this. Luke mentions in GetVokl, don't use the USB output if you can help it. And so, I mean, that's a good point. USB is not the best. Maybe my next step is to research a different way to get from my condenser to my preamp to my laptop, because the Focusrite Scarlett Solo is something I've had since I started recording voiceover. It's a little old. It's a first generation. So we'll see. It doesn't hurt when it does voiceover, but maybe it's the Focusrite USB driver that GetVokl is tapping into, and GetVokl doesn't like the Focusrite USB driver. Interesting concept. But yes, this is Behind the Music, SCP Site-42 Tech Issues Edition. Getting back to the story we were reading, thank you guys for dealing with our digression and our sound issues. So here is what I want to talk about in the discussion page. So user Dr. Azra critiqued the article a little bit, and by no means, let me point out that the SCP Wiki is a creative writing wiki. You are 100% welcome to your critique, your opinions, good or bad, as long as you're being a professional individual you are critiquing and you're being helpful. You're not being a jerk. You're not being rude. You're just saying, I don't like this and here's why. That's good. That's helpful to the community to grow and make better stories. So don't think that because I'm calling out Dr. Azra's critique that I think it's a bad critique, or it's bad that he did it. I just may disagree with some of his points based on certain things. This is not meant to offend anybody who's ever given a negative critique. So this feels very far removed from what the wiki is about. The Foundation allowing a staff member to volunteer for subversive type deals with a demon, the demon being childish and inexperienced. Everyone in the interview sounds like insecure teenagers, Elvis jokes, daddy issues. The whole thing feels like a fan fiction webcomic from some far off corner of the internet. I don't know why this got so many upvotes, but I'm really not into it. So as we go through with people discussing this, people counter the fanficky comment, also saying exactly what I said. You're free to downvote, but there's not really any restrictions on what writers can write about on the site. And so my thought process when it comes to this critique is, the biggest one is that there is a view of the wiki that because it started in the kind of creepypasta way, that it's not welcome to have funny articles. Where it's not welcome, but it's definitely harder to make it work because more people feel like the website should stick to its creepypasta roots and things should be spooky and body horror and stuff like that. And every time there's a funny article, there's at least one comment that says, this feels more like a -J, even though it's not exactly a joke article. A joke article, a -J as we call them, like if this were 4996-J, joke articles are typically full-blown jokes. It's like you're telling a joke to your friends, but in the format. Usually these end up having some sort of wordplay at the end. They have some sort of joke on the format itself. Sometimes they're just so outlandish that they cannot be taken as anything except a joke using the format of an SCP. Whereas funny stories and comedy through the articles does not necessarily make it a -J. If your story has jokes, sometimes that can emphasize the horror that's in your joke. For instance, in 4996, there was an attempt here at least to use comedy, making things into superheroes lightning the move, to make it horrifying when we hear about Dr. Shelby's skin rippling like water with all her bones shattering and reforming several times every second. The repeated fracturing of all skeletal structures within Dr. Shelby's body generated cracking sounds in excess of 165 decibels at 10 meters away. And so, bone fragments exited the body through various orifices and solidified on her skin. All of this sounds uniquely horrible. And I mean, I'll tell you this personally, I'm not sure that the body horror hit as hard as the comedy in this one. Sometimes you can do a little bit of both. I'm not sure that that landed exactly, but I mean, I overlike the funny of the story, and I think it carries it on its own for certain. Hope all that made sense. I hope that was a cohesive set of discussion thoughts. Yes, and then further on down the line, Dyslexion, the author himself, theirself, herself, theirself, I'm going to go with theirself, thanked this person for critiquing them, which is, of course, good. And then for allowing Foundation staff to volunteer to make these deals, the opinion was that D-Class should only be used when the experiment has a high chance of physical or mental danger. There's not an infinite amount of death row prisoners to draw from. So obviously Dyslexion is sticking with the idea that we're using death row inmates for D-Class, which some, part of the wiki is against that as an idea anyways. Actually, there's some very good stories where they'll pick up where the Foundation is using homeless people as D-Class, and it's like this under the table secret nobody talks about. The Foundation is dark, and so they're like taking homeless people off the street to make them D-Class. There's a great story I haven't been able to find. It's a tale where there's an FBI agent they are trying to draft into the Foundation, and he's trying to retire, so he keeps saying no, and eventually he wakes up as a D-Class because he knew too much, and we made you an offer you can't refuse, and so now you're going to be tested on. And it's like, oof, that hurts. Oh, and by the way, Foundation stopped making tests on people when a man's skin sloughed off and he inverted. I guess he turned inside out. That was the redacted one, I bet. So the childish demon trope, this is our college kid demon mentality, Dyslexion says. Imagine if you were a mechanic in your first few months of training and you got teleported to hell. As soon as you get there, the demons are like, hey, bud, can you fix this car? Can you imagine how bad that would go given your level of inexperience? That'd be fun. That'd be great. And then just talking about it being fanficky, there's some comedic parts, but they were put in place to make vivid imagery for the body horror. That's the one that I don't think worked quite so much. Like, I liked the comedy and the body horror was image, but it didn't really, at least for me, it didn't really exaggerate the body horror. But I mean, I was more horrified by the poor guy getting redacted by a sperm whale, really. Like that, okay, that made it work for me. Yeah. So yes, TLDR, funny articles, at least in my opinion, are okay. There's plenty of grimdark on the wiki. There's plenty of, I am the night. The Foundation dies in the dark so you can live in the light. I'm Batman. There's plenty of that. So sometimes you need something like Director Rosie overcomes his sour cream addiction, which is a bonkers tale by Witness that I did a reading on with the channel. You can listen to that. Or you can read it on the wiki. It's nuts. Going here for a second to the chat. Rura, speaking of articles, oh yeah, it was totally DW. I don't know what DW is. A tale where 4996 goes to the mall because they're very interested in human anthropology. That would be pretty funny. I could be behind that. I would love it if someone they encountered out in public just kept mistaking 4996 for a Homestuck cosplayer. Maybe they'd go to a convention. It's just the horns. That would be funny. And I think I just broke Rura. Oh, yes. Good life. Good times. All right. Well, ending on Homestuck cosplay 4996 tale. I think that is the perfect time to end the show tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, Foundation staff in the YouTube, Signal, Space, in the GetVokl chat, thank you guys for joining us this evening for another anomalous broadcast from Site-42. SCP-4996 is currently at plus 83. I've already upvoted it. Make sure you visit the wiki proper and upvote or downvote as you please. Thank you, Dyslexion, for writing this article. I enjoyed it a lot. If you want to support the channel, you can join GetVokl to join the conversation with us at any point. You can become a patron at Site-42's Patreon. That is patreon.com/Site-42. Join the Site-42 Discord to get in touch with us. If you want to come on the show, get with GetVokl. Get in touch with me on Twitter or Discord so you can get your article highlighted if you want to do that, or if you just want to come and have discussion. All that's good. All of this sign off to say thank you guys for tuning in. This is Level 2 Researcher Theron Sherman signing off. See you guys in next week's broadcast.